that. That did absolutely nothing. Say it again. Been staying in the dark about the game. Okay. In the dark, miles apart. Oh no! Yoink. What am I supposed? Oh, that's a lever behind me too. Whoop. Lol. That's a 5 Nights at Freddy's jump scare. Ooga booga. And not the most terrifying monster I've encountered in my life. Oh shit, that is actually kind of scary. Okay, that is actually kind of creepy. Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay, that was a bit creepy. That got me. That was a bit spooky. Oh shit, are we in we're in a new place with a new language? It's a new place and we got language. It's a cool place. Seeking you are, found we have. Oh, that's the language of the dudes on the terminals. This might mean that once I solve this, I can start backtracking, maybe. Do we assume it's this is the sentence to the left, that's the sentence to the right? Because I think this is we. There's no we. Plural, maybe? This is seek. This is find. And then it's either that or maybe that in reverse. Oh yeah. The plural? I like the plural. You seek, we found. Oh, is that plural? Oh, because you as in the plural group you? The group of you seek. So is it I solve this location and then I backtrack, I guess, maybe? don't want to start backtracking though, and then I can't solve some of these. Oh, I can teleport. Oh my god. What's up, Kaiman? Dude, I can just teleport. Dude, if I had not realized that, I would have actually lost my freaking mind. That would, dude. Imagine backtracking through this entire game and not realizing that until the very end. Okay, so there's nothing here. Well, we'll solve the signage up there. Happy Sunday! Sunday fun day! I should go and start making my breakfast, I think. It's gonna take 10 minutes to make, then it's gonna rest for 10 minutes. So we have a bunch of dials here. What is this like? Other can enjoy the show here. That is completely legal, despite what some people might tell you. That's actually very, very legal. Oh, do you think there's like one, like... So we can do anything first, and this button is first. Then it's like that, then it's like one of these. That's like 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if that's how we were supposed to solve that. I guess it probably was, but man. 1, 2. This was 3, I think. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man. Maybe I should lurk a little bit too and just take a nap or something and just put on AI Endaline. I can't wait to have an AI Endaline I can, you know, just shove in here whenever I get tired. It'd be so convenient. Jesus Christ, that's little symbols. Me, you. Me, you. Me fart, me poop you. Oh, break an elevator, oops. Okay, before we go too crazy with this, I'm gonna be right back real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Enjoy some clips. Enjoy this clip. Well, listen, if you want to be sexy, you gotta be way younger than this, okay? Wait, Serp is pretty sexy though. Oh my god, you guys! Did Logan just steal Alpha's sleeping spot? Oh, you know no one. Yeah, that's right, kid. Stay over there, weirdo. Hey, did you guys know that Einstein might have been a gay? Well. Maybe the science was gay too.
Boy, oh boy. New people. Time to meet and greet.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Shoot lightning. Good, yeah, you beta male. Don't. I'm actually worried right now. I'm actually yoinking. I didn't mean to do that. What the? Oh my god. I'm not ready for that. I didn't think it would happen. I did not think that would happen. Oh my god. Oh my god, that terrified me. Jesus Christ. Run! Delay though. Mamma mia! You're really quiet.
My name's
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Maybe I should just go explore all the areas around houses. Like maybe they just have shit lying around. Oh, that broken down car might have something on it. Oh my god. Alright, let's just watch that right now. Let's skip that one right now. Just for right now, though. Science? You are a scientist. I'm a scientist. Science 1, Science 2. But this is a forbidden Science 3. Oh, the monster.
You must excuse me.
I've grown quite weary. What's up, Nero? This might be monster? Monster... Afraid light slash fire? Afraid light slash fire. Yeah, I need to light this, because there's probably monsters in here would be my guess. Well, these are some equations for sure. Okay, this was mean equations from equation. And it's the plurals, it's equations. Okay, no idea what this is supposed to be. Sometimes these areas feel like you're walking through a labyrinth. Me want equation. Me want... Is that what it said? Oh yeah. I even have that. Oh, it's this one. Enlightenment. Or it could be like solution. This could also just mean solution. Okay. Afraid. Monster. I guess it means that we should be able to solve this, but I'm not sure how. I think... I think this should be here, but then I just tried that with every other word on this side, right? It could be either of these, I guess. Alchemy is God's greatest gift. Brute force, brute force, brute force, brute force. Okay, we can't brute force this. Oh, I gotta BRB real quick. Quick BRB. Quick burb, as the kids say.
Any bags? No.
Alright.
Gifted 1 subscriptions to the community.
Alright, to Mad Pineapple. That guy's an asshole. The hell? What did you... Why that guy? Oh! Alright, alright. You think you're funny, huh? You think you're a funny dude? What I'm trying to say is, if you really like this girl, show her the quality of your character and see what happens. Good luck. That's very nice. I'm sure your words will mean a lot to I Heart Riona. Now for the third and final letter. It's from Dragon Mask Man, a boy in his 2nd year of middle school. Is there something wrong? I'm like... No, it's nothing. I misheard you, I'm sorry. Dragon What was this clip?
That has to be Tai Chi. All 3 of these letters are from Morning Glory, for sure.
Okay, what? What? Oh my... What the hell was that? Okay, we'll identify this as science. This as science. And this... Oh. This as science. And we'll identify this as science as well, since this guy was talking about it. Maybe this symbol. What symbol did this guy use? Was it the one I just saw, or? I guess there's a lot of these that look like they could mean renewal, huh? Oh, oops, I already messed it up. I was saying like life cycle or something. I think there was more to explore here. Oh god, I didn't mean to go down again. What's this? So this either means like people or it's like a canteen or something. I don't know that's how you write it, but that's how I'm gonna write it here. Eat? Oh, there's like food symbols on the on the clock up there. They eat 3 times a day. What the hell? That's sick. That's crazy. Me find barrel. Me seek barrel. Box. I don't know. Wait, are they just numbers again? How did this mean 0? Because it's just a regular line. And this is a number. Like he's saying like I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We already have 7, don't we? No, we don't. I counted 7, but oops. But I wanted 8. So there should be 8. You find 7, we want 8. How about these people stop speaking languages all day and get a job instead? Imagine having a word-based writing system anyway. What's up, Mr. Bag Pants? Also, hello, Puta Monster. How are you both doing today? I hope you're both having terrible, just shitty, awful days. I hope you're just miserable. I broke a shelf today, my back hurts. What the hell? You broke a shelf? So, I think this is like warrior or something? Or primitive? And then it's like maybe, I don't know, travel or something? Location? Did the thing, and but I didn't mute my mic this time at least, that's good. I know the source of my mystery, and Len wished it upon me. This could be like... This could be like the intake. And then this is like the rehabilitation or something, I don't know. This was like 2 people making love to each other in the 69 position, but a little bit more advanced. Maybe that simply means family. This is like the family quarters. How do you manage to break a shelf? 6 type of family. Was there a dent on the shelf and then you put a really big magnet on it? Frickin' magnets, how do they work? I saw these doors on at least one other floor. Maybe they're on each floor. I'll probably, honestly, when I have the languages I want, I will just Google it, because I don't want to re-explore every floor, but we'll see. Clearing out some trash in the bottom shelf, and I had to go down when I used to reach it, and then I used the shelf as support when standing up. It's not as robust as I would have hoped. But one of those cheap IKEA shelves, huh? Those friggin' Swedes, am I right? Books? Library? Probably books. Also cheap garbage old shelf, yeah. Oh, it does happen at work, damn. Ooh. What do you mean 2? That wasn't 2, that was way more than 2. This is peak. Do you like waffles with brunost? I mean, I don't hate it, but I prefer waffles just with sugar and butter. For jam waffles, but brunost works as well. I don't like jam. That symbol could mean device? Maybe? This is like a fire device. Ugh. That's lunacy. There lies the madness. I thought it was a way out. Because this was from the same channel that was expertly removing car dents with fishing magnets. This is just an AI video. What the hell? What the hell? Very Norwegian. And that morbidly obese lady, that looks like she would start tumbling down a hill. Definitely looks very Norwegian. This is interesting. Me find books very interesting. I think that was some fake facet, but could have been AI. I mean, I feel like this is probably AI, but I mean, you could argue that like the artifacts and stuff is just like weird editing or whatever, but I mean, you can see like the waffles and stuff like morphing. She also, when she falls on that carpet, she also goes through the whatever's on the right side. What do I know though? What am I, the AI man? What am I? Who am I, Dualius? How much has Dualius? Yes, you are. I'm Dualius. Oh, damn. I didn't know. I didn't know. Fart plural? What the hell? Okay, so we have book. Book. So, I think this one means like scientist. Oh. I DM the expert for judgment on AR. Nice. And this means something. There's like musicians or creatives. It's the creatives. This symbol means like friends or something, or brothers. Or maybe the same. Maybe it means they're the same. So the first symbol would be the guys, which is this thing, and then either what, this or that. Nice. Fairy. Bard alchemist brother. That's a fairy. The fairy door. Fairies. Oh, do you think? Wait, do you think this could just be open? Here's my friends. They suffer in loneliness. Be creative. No, she's got 10 fingers. You're safe. It's real. It's not AI. Is that what Dwalius said? Dwalius might have sent that through AI then. That's an AI ass response right there. You might have just been AI'd. Everyone knows that AI aren't struggling with the fingers anymore. That's not a real thing anymore. Well, hey, I don't know. I would explain a lot. Oh, I think I might get something. I think I'm gonna do something. Is my guy gonna write that down, or I'll just take a stream screenshot of it. Maybe it's gonna be relevant to something. Science. Oh, they wrote that down though. You are a scientist. I'm a scientist. Science. Wait, I missed one on the floor below. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Warriors love music. Those waffles are real. What's up, Dwellius? How are you supposed to like, I assume I'm supposed to interpret the conversation, right? It's like the word, so I'm the people. So first of all, idiots. You be. I don't believe that's real for a second. I refuse to believe it. What is this game? Tinder for aliens? It's a language deciphering game.
Ew.
So it's like, warriors love music, and then I'm supposed to respond in the, huh. But I like, there's so many words to choose there, so... Bards... But I probably have to respond in their language too, which means that I would put the thing in the front, right? So like, music, you love not? Oh, I thought it worked for a second. Not music you love. You have to speak like Yoda. Yeah, these people speak like Yoda. Idiot, you. Warriors. Or am I just supposed to write what he said? Do you think I'm just translating what he said? To be music. Oops, wrong one. I mean, it doesn't. It can't be that you're supposed to communicate, right? That would be crazy. Music. Warriors. Love. I got it. I'm a god. I'm a god. And how can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. Fortress. Is that easy? Fortress. Is it Bard? Do we have one for Chosen here? Bard. Come. Bard go.
Oh.
Logan's here. Okay, let's before we get too deep into this, let me go make breakfast, then we'll watch something. It's breakfast and watch time, everyone. Watch this clip while I say something really cool that I believe in, by the way. Please, please, por favor, please, just do it. Please do it. Please.
Thank you for watching.
You've grown so much, Sumire. I'm sure this is no surprise to you, but the path to international success will be harsh and relentless. Are you ready?
We're just gonna play on normal. Where the fuck is my sub? Wait, don't you have a sub already? I'll gift you in a second, okay? No, give me a second. I want to watch the intro first. I mean, I am far right. Okay.
Did you guys do anything special I should know about?
I got waffles.
We got one clue up to that.
Okay, so encounter, right?
Too far, Rex. Your clan may rule, but this thing is not Krogan.
Grunt, fuck him up.
Idiot. So, Grunt, do you wish to stand with Erdnot?
I like that he just goes, idiot. Yeah. He just goes straight into his gullet. It was all part of Eisen's plan. Is Eisen a character from Bleach? Oh, Alpha. Wait, did I say Alpha? It approaches. Or are you asking where Alpha is? Logan is also the gentlest. Oh god. Krogolux? She just sneezed and headbutted my knee. I don't know if you called that. Oh, there. Yeah, no, again. I get the story they're trying to tell. The story seems like the story they're trying to tell is really good, but it feels like this was a really bad way to tell that story. And now I'll say the words. Bondir ekranuir bag mauibur namibur irg bondir ekran. Mauf me mondim gufmia iburekitios irnemi ubumeg iburem. I got to go big sneezy. Oh, that was a sneeze for sure. Yeah, so the carburetor, I had to like adjust it a lot, but yeah, I was malfunctioning with the fumigator a lot to make the air fume solution be good. And I think I reached like equilibrium with that, if you know what I mean. I'm kind of stuck right now though. Oh, there. I'm such a character, yeah, dude. Tell me about it. You wanna like grab a drink after this, maybe? Like go grab a beer together? We could go grab a beer, you and me? I'm not getting neither baby chickens or eggs. Looks like a real detailed inspection, yeah. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Yes! Yeah, I noticed the room was bright. I noticed. Yes! Why are Japanese kids so mean? The Last of Us 2 is my favorite game ever. It has the best story structure ever, and I'm gay for Neil. No, what did you do? That doesn't work like that! Ethan, that's not how anything works. It fixed its goddamn sleeve through. Folkens. Er det sett med flinke bikkjeoffer? Okay, nice.
Bye bye.
But yeah, overall I think it's pretty cool so far. I love games, like, I love games. Take the key. Imagine I've never parried before in my life, and this is how quickly I became a master at it. A true champion.
Right. Just
Okay,
head through
oh,
there.
unfortunate.
I'm sure you'll find your way.
I'm on it.
I hate when I'm a woman and people are homosexuals. That's the worst.
They tell you
Way, Norway.
Yeah, that I don't think that worked out the way you wanted it to, Shosho, but here I'll do Norway. I can't even see what's happening. Doing the thing. And then this crap just started falling apart. I'm almost back. Oh no. Oh no! Romancer Anuman. Yeah, we had sex. We did this. We did that. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna BRB make food too, because why not? Well, it's franchise that you can do so much with, but no one like is really. I can think of a lot of reasons. I mean, if you're dieting, that's one reason, I guess. If you don't have food, that's also a good reason not to make breakfast. You're just not hungry. I mean, that's a pretty normal one, right? I'm not hungry. I won't eat anything. Right browser. Nice. Alright, everyone. We are currently watching the 3-hour Pirate Software video. So Howard's Bell, more like Howard's Hell. We're half an hour in. We're gonna watch another half an hour today, and then you know, in 3 weeks we'll be done with this. Mapman versus GeoGuessr 2, Mark's Revenge. What the hell? Dude, my recommendations on this account are probably sick as all. Oh, there's corrections in the comments. Alright, let's watch this for a little bit. Let me mute Chants and Sennaar. We're gonna watch 30 minutes of this, everyone.
Going to let him do what he's going
Buy
to
some
do.
food.
And that's exactly what I was told. And that's exactly why Jason was allowed to form his
This is a Pirate Software hit piece with the intended goal of destroying Pirate Software. Any Pirate Softwares? Yes, exactly.
Joey Ray Hall left Blizzard in 2014. One could assume that as Thor's father left, so would the protection Thor had from his presence. Yet even without it, Thor appeared to continue to get favorable roles.
So I actually applied at Blizzard to go do what is called the side projects and side project committee. I was the first one that got approved. And I went and made a tiny arcade game.
Despite Thor never working on developing games, as his job descriptions fall under security and game testing, and out of well over 2,000 Blizzard employees, it was Thor that was the first to be allowed into the Side Projects Committee, a program that allowed him to work on personal projects outside of work without a conflict of interest. On January 31st, 2016, Thor, under the username Pirate Software, tweeted, quote, "We will release official Pirate Software updates here." Unquote. This account and the Pirate Software website were not only made to advertise his upcoming food-themed game, but also his new game studio under the name Pirate Software. Thor claims he chose the name because it was funny in an ironic sense and not because he actually encourages the pirating of software. Then in February 2016, Thor left Blizzard and joined Amazon Game Studios as an automation engineer and also began focusing on his own company. The Pirate Software crew roster, excluding Thor, consisted of 3 people, 2 artists and a composer. This leaves Thor with the sole responsibilities of programming the games. These came down to 2 projects, both of which he worked on through Blizzard's side project committee. On March 4th, in this Reddit AMA under the username Thorwitch, Thor claims he had sunk 1,100 hours into the development of an RPG. Separately, he was also working on an arcade shooter. The latter was announced as Champions of Breakfast the month prior. The former was only hinted at through this tweet. The username Thorwitch was also used for Thor's YouTube channel Thorwitch Plays. Though any videos on it are now unlisted or set to private, the name does imply that there existed videos of Thor as a Let's Player. Back to the topic at hand, the goal was to get Champions of Breakfast on Steam through Steam Greenlight, a feature meant to fast-track the approval of indie games via the Steam community. An issue here was that the game had more users voting no they would not buy the game if it was available on Steam. Even so, on March 11th, the game was able to get enough support to be greenlit, and was released into early access on April 1st, with its full release listed as June 23rd, 2016. Likely to stir up
I thought we were talking about his other game. I thought that was Kickstarter. I was confused.
publicity, Thor attempted to entice popular Let's Players and Let's Play groups with custom artwork to play his game. This included Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Game Grumps, and Super Beer Bros. Even PewDiePie was a target. Though every attempt appears to have failed, even without their promotion, Champions of Breakfast had an overall positive reception. Thor as Maldavius was one of these positive reviewers. On Metacritic, he gave it a 10, the highest possible score. As Thor wrapped up Champions of Breakfast, work began on a new game, but not a new
Really? Couldn't even make a new account for that. Really?
story. Heartbound was something Thor had been conceptualizing all the way back in high school. Quote, for those of you waiting
I guess to be fair, there's no rule that you can't review your own game, right? And if you really like your game, then it's a 10. Okay, sure.
for Heartbound updates, your time is now. This has been a project of passion for me over the last year, and the main reason I chose to go indie in the first place. Unquote. Thorsight's Secret of Mana, Illusions of Gaia, the Mother series, Secret of Evermore, Super Mario RPG as his core inspirations for the game. The biggest is likely Earthbound as it shares.
What about Undertale?
Part of the name. As for the story, quote, Lore is the main character of Heartbound, a troubled young teen living in a world rapidly being overtaken by a horrific curse, turning everyone he knows into creatures called Darksiders.
Ooh.
These Darksiders retain all of the memories and ambitions of their host, but twisted into a terrible mockery of their former selves. To escape the growing darkness, Lore must travel to another world to fight back from there, slowly learning the truth and meaning behind all this in the process. Unquote. Though Thor does not say as much in this post, main character's parents are both based off Thor's real parents. Baron is Lore's talking dog. Lore, as is the player's motivation throughout, is to recover Baron after he is left in an uncertain state. In the beginning of the game, Baron's highly optimistic attitude helps counter Lore's pessimistic view of the world. In a way, Baron also helps counter the negligence of Lore's father and the abuse of his mother.
I think it might be time to give you a raise, Cash. I think it's time to give you a raise, man.
Though as Lore ventures into different worlds, not of Earth, Lore interacts mostly with characters unfamiliar with him or the existence of Baron. There is a possibility Baron, the dog, is not even real. Perhaps he is the hopeful side of Lore as he retreats into his own world to grapple with the nature of the real one. The consequence of failure is to be doomed in an unmoving, depressive nightmare. This is largely symbolized in the tower section of the game based on a corporate office where Lore either finds that he, through the player's choices, has become his gaslighting mother, or that he has defeated her influence by not sharing in her negative traits. Choice and the impact of choice is what Thor aimed to flesh out to an unrealistic degree. Quote, every time you interact with an object, talk to an NPC, forget to turn off a light switch, take out the trash, or disregard a sparkly bush, the game remembers this and will change subtly for all further interactions. The greatest part about this design is that it already works and is in the current builds of the game.
Nice.
Both minor and major differences are going to pop up throughout the game and give the community something to share with one another. Everything you do matters, no matter what kind of player you are or choose to be. Unquote. On the bottom of the post, Thor provides the current plans for release. Quote, right now we are planning on releasing a public beta before the end of the year along with a crowdfunding campaign to help fund the game. Unquote. Alongside working at Amazon Game Studios and working on Heartbound, Thor also attended 2016's DEF CON, where for a second year in a row, Thor's team, the Council of Nine, won that year's Black Badge Challenge. That was also true for the following year's challenge.
I got 3 in a row. So DEF CON 23, 24, and 25. Hat trick is not like a normal thing to get. So the first one, people are like, wow, I got one. The second one, they're like, wait a minute. And the third one, while I was at Amazon Game Studio, the DOE, approached me and they're like, hey, do you want to go hack those power plants? And I was like, I love money. So like, yes,
As nice of a story as that is, it's detached from reality and even contradicts Thor's own LinkedIn that shows he started working at Eagle Research Group in 2016. This means it was before DEF CON 25 that took place in 2017, meaning that when he got his job, he only had 2 black badges. Furthermore, Thor did not work for the Department of Energy. He worked for a company that held a contract with the government.
And they just fly us to a site, hack the site, write a report, go home. Right. And I had to wear a suit the whole time, and they made me cut my hair, which was weird.
You hacked in a suit? Wait,
yeah, suit and tie.
Good friends.
Very Hollywood, dude.
I watched those.
It was weird,
that
dude.
Is super
it was
Hollywood.
weird.
I kind of
Yeah,
like
I hate
that
it.
though, that they made
But
you
this
wear
is-
a suit. That's
What is it? 2016. This Drop Frames episode is not from 2016. This is from like 2023 or something.
yeah. I like. I could.
They
That,
made me wear a suit, and they lied to me too. They
Maybe
told
2024.
Me, they told me I had to cut my hair, and I was like, why do I have to cut my hair? And my boss
YouTube. Dropped Frames Pirate Software. He wasn't even that big at the time. Yeah, this was a year ago. This episode was a year ago.
lied to me. He goes, oh, because you'll be around turbines.
Also in 2016 is evidence of his haircut, which aligns with the evidence on LinkedIn that reinforces that he did start working at Eagle Research Group in 2016. The additions of the lie about the government approaching Thor and the lie that it took place at DEF CON 25 in 2017 are perceptibly only included to aggrandize himself, something that would become all the more common. Though Eagle Research Group undoubtedly did take much of his time, Thor was keeping to deadlines. Just as he stated, he did release a beta version, but more so a demo of Heartbound that could be downloaded on his website in late 2016. This game was greenlit even faster than Champions of Breakfast and was set to release into early access late 2017. Then on February 24, 2017, Heartbound hit its Kickstarter with a phenomenally low goal of only $5,000.
Nice.
This was hit in a little over 24 hours after posting. Then in March, after the funding period ended, Thor directed his patrons.
So this is kickstarting for marketing, right? You said you create a Kickstarter. You set an absurdly low goal. You know, you're not making Heartbound for $5,000. That's an irrelevant amount of money for a game like this, right? So you just set like an absurdly low goal for it, so just so you can get people to pledge a little bit, so they create excitement around the game.
To his development streams, and selected PayPal as a way of post-Kickstarter funding. There was even this interview conducted by the channel Video Game News Source.
So speaking of games, what do you have for us today? So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in 24 days from concept to release on Steam. Blew up. It was really, really awesome.
Blew up.
And that game is pretty difficult. So
was it actually called Champions of Breakfast? Champions of Breakfast Steam DB. Blew up.
You're into really hard arcade
one
games,
second.
twin-stick shooter. So speaking of games, what do you have for us today? So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in 24 days from concept to release on Steam. Blew up. It was really, really awesome.
Blew up.
And that game is pretty difficult. So if you're into really hard arcade games, that's the kind of thing for you. And the other one is Heartbound, which is a more story-driven RPG.
Thor was specifically working on 2 chapters of Heartbound. Chapter 2, The Tower, which has a distinct red, black, and white color palette, and Chapter 3, Animus. This chapter is set mostly in an autumn forest home to various furries. Planned were 2 additional chapters, making it a 5-chapter game. This was set to release December 2017, not into early access, but fully finished. These chapters were entirely absent from the Heartbound demo, as only Chapter 1, which sets up the main character lore, his parents, and his dog, was accessible. By mid-2017, progress still remained steady, Thor claiming he was building a new environment in Heartbound every 6 to 8 hours. Quote, "This one was created from scratch and implemented in a single day of work." Unquote. Initially appearing as a strategy to include his fans on his game's development, Thor announced a streaming schedule. He would stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 2 hours at a time. Somehow, he had the ability to fit these streams into a schedule full of dev work and his obligations at Eagle Research Group. By late 2017, this was all getting to be too much.
So they wanted to increase my hours from 10 weeks of work a year flying around the country to 30 with the same pay. And I was like, dude, I'm not... Like, that's more than half the year I wouldn't be at home. Like, what's the point of even... I just live out of hotels at that point, right? So I quit. And I was like, I'm going to take 2 weeks. Maybe I'll go back to Amazon because they were offering me a position for a lead security position to do security for their games. And it was still open. They did that when I was leaving, and it was still open there. And I was like, I'm going to figure out what I want to do. And 2 days later, Jacksepticeye played our game Heartbound. And the community just blew up. And I was like, well...
Top of the morning to you, ladies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome to a game called
Jacksepticeye,
which I think is supposed to be a mix kind of Undertale and kind of Earthboundy, or at least emulating their styles in that type of game.
A large Let's Player had finally played Heartbound. Jacksepticeye was one of the many that Thor tried to goad into playing his game, and though he only touched on the demo that was limited to Chapter 1, Jacksepticeye loved the direction, expressing as much when he finished the demo.
Oh, that was cool! Oh, that was really, really good. I didn't expect something like that from this. I didn't think it would be that good, but I really, really like it. I can't wait to see more of this. Oh, I'm glad I played this now. That was really, really good.
Jacksepticeye's video, among many things, impacted Thor, and to that extent Heartbound, in 2 major ways. First, it directed over 1 million eyes to the project. Second, it added pressure, something Thor was having to contend with. By December, Thor had updated the launch date. Quote, "We are hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound by early to mid-2018. Originally, we wanted to finish and release the game by December 2017. I have said many times that Heartbound will never have a sequel. Taking this extra time ensures I can keep that promise because there is so much more story now than there was."
Why do people say this stuff like, it will never have a sequel? Well, first of all, what if you just feel like making one in the future? Why make this definitive statement? Secondly, who cares? How's this relevant to anything? The game isn't even out. Like, I announced, like, oh guys, I'm working on Battle Blizzards. And people are like, okay, cool. I'm like, it's not gonna have a sequel.
Was originally. Heartbound is very important to all of us at Pirate Software, and we want to make it the best it can be for all of you. Unquote. February 2018 came, and the launch date was pushed back yet again. Now from mid-2018 to just 2018. Implying a late year release date.
I believe him when he says Heartbound will never have a sequel.
Now late 2018, the type of launch changed, though it was previously meant to launch in a complete state.
I just feel like such a weird thing to say, right?
It was now to launch on Steam into early access in December. This commitment was kept. Heartbound released into early access on Christmas Day 2018. This version came with the addition of Chapter 2, The Tower, and sat at 95% positive ratings. About 2 weeks after release, in January 2019, Thor stated, quote, "Around 6 to 7 months ago, Thor was able to quit his day job and start working on this full time, so things have gone super quickly since then. Animus is next." Unquote. Being that Thor made some visible progress on Animus and that he quit his job, this new chapter could be expected soon. There was, however, a small issue with this tweet.
Yeah?
Thor did not quit his job 6 or 7 months ago. He quit his job, as per his LinkedIn, well over a year ago, as lined up with Jacksepticeye playing his game in November 2017. A strange thing to get incorrect, but also inconsequential. Inconsequential like creator MatPat of Game Theory's coverage of Heartbound.
We have successfully gotten through 1.5 days here in 2019 without any major catastrophes, any like major blowups on Twitter, anything. Knock on wood, ladies and gentlemen.
No disasters.
We are nearly 2 days
in.
A kind of release, but it's not fully released, but it's kind of released, of a game that we were, keeping tabs on, kind of in the background. I don't know if you remember it. It's called Heartbound. It was kind of one of those ones that came out in the aftermath of Undertale, but goes in a very different direction with it. It's kind of got that Earthboundy Mother series feel to it, that Undertale feel to it.
Thor watched this live. The stream and VOD title was originally GT Live. The next Undertale game is here.
Stream and says for everyone watching GG Live, you can find our game Heartbound here and has their link. So they are at Pirate Software on Twitter.
There you go,
Nice.
Pirate Software. Arr, there you be, the
shout-out.
pirates. So you can play it yourself and make your own choices and see if it
Yeah.
affects the ending.
Creator Jacksepticeye also pointed to Undertale as a comparison to Heartbound.
Welcome to a game called Heartbound, which I think is supposed to be a mix kind of Undertale.
They showed
While
this earlier.
Jacksepticeye's video inspired Thor, game theories angered him. Quote, "I'm pretty disappointed here, and so is our community. Your recent hashtag GT Live came across as an Undertale clickbait mashup instead of being about hashtag Heartbound. You never linked to our game, and you got our studio name wrong as well." Unquote. Thor, in his tweet, attached to
Who does stuff like this? Like who like adds like a random YouTube show or whatever?
images. The first is of a notepad that includes a
Imagine PewDiePie reacts to my video of me reacting to this video, and he doesn't he says something wrong about me, something like at PewDiePie. PewDiePie, your recent coverage of me was very disappointing. Like
title, the description, public hashtags, and the hidden YouTube tags found in MatPat's video. Here, Thor for a second time states that there were no links to Heartbound. The description of the video is the second image, likely included to provide evidence for Thor's claims. But again, Jacksepticeye also used Undertale as a point of reference, which was inspired by the 1995 RPG Earthbound. With similar inspirations, the games do share similarities, which neither channel expressed maliciously, as Undertale is highly regarded. One noticeable difference between game theories and Jacksepticeye...
I guess Pirate wants to pretend that this is like a completely original idea that he came up with and no one else has done anything like it before.
Jacksepticeye's commentary is that game theory played a newer version that included Chapter 2, The Tower, a much slower, puzzle-filled, overall less guided
Undertale's regarded a bit mean to say.
chapter.
Why is the R word back?
Swaths of it will have players wander the environment with little direction. Game theory in particular mocked the gameplay in this chapter.
PewDiePie, Endaline is a racist that advertises gambling to children. I'm like, I advertise it to everyone, you sick fuck! I advertise it to everyone! What's up, Sale?
That while much of the gameplay was symbolic, it was detrimental to the game's pacing and hammered across themes that were already well understood.
Moved on with the gameplay. How dare you not love your dog enough to slog through dark maze gameplay for how riveting it is. Chris.
Thanks, Chris. You're the best.
Thanks, buddy.
There's also Doug Lane
Look with
gameplay.
an eyeball. What a weird game. Mommy, no! Don't lock me in. Reading is fundamental.
Even with these comments, the coverage was overall positive. Yet, that did not stop Thor's tweets from gaining traction. This is when creator, the Gamer from Mars, covered this among some other strange comments MatPat had made in the past, like this one.
I've actually never looked at porn, ever, like...
Further in the video, Thor's tweets and outrage around it is covered.
Creator of the game wasn't too pleased with this stream, calling it out for a clickbait title that compared his game to Undertale, getting a name wrong, not giving what he felt was sufficient promotion, and a supposed misleading video tag. Needless to say, this criticism took off.
I've never looked at
Was
porn,
this
guys.
reaction justified? Well, in short, no.
MatPat, in response to the outrage, stated he does
Yeah, that's I don't know if he'll maybe scroll down, but it says that said, their goal is to make live streams as searchable as possible, and for games with limited searchability, that's important as it gets the audience and attention they deserve. Which makes sense, right? No one's gonna go on YouTube and write Heartbound. Well, maybe now they will because of the drama, but generally speaking, back in 2019, no one's gonna go on YouTube and be like, Heartbound playthrough. Or Heartbound, right? But a lot of people are going to go and search Undertale, right?
him review the thumbnail, tags, description, etc. His employees do, But even so, he takes responsibility for their decisions. Even with that, he explains that the clickbait nature of some of the videos serve to both get the video to a wider audience and the small games he covers to that same audience. Furthermore, MatPat clarifies that Thor's game is great. Regarding the issue of linking directly to the game in the description, he states it's not something that game theory does. This is when Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale, commented, quote, "You should link to any game you play. Creators need all the help they can get, and think carefully if you're misleading your audience with how you present your videos. You went too far."
What a cringe lord.
This time.
This is so cringy. Should you link to the game? No, like, should you? Maybe, but like, I think it should be like a demand that every time I mention a game or talk about a game, it should be like be in the YouTube description, right? I think you should have to. First of all, I don't know if linking it there matters, but secondly, like, should you do it? I don't know. But like, misleading your audience with how you present your videos. I don't know.
Unquote. Thor, at a later date, would claim that Toby Fox's tweet immediately stopped threats and doxings that were allegedly coming from Game Theory's community. Thor claims,
"Why is every time Pirate Software does anything, he's getting threatened and doxed by people? Every time this guy does anything, there's people threatening and doxing him."
That the harassment was so bad that he nearly cancelled his game. Eventually, MatPat succumbed to the pressure and added a link to Heartbound in the video's description. A smarter move at the time because of who Thor had the potential to become. Developers such as Toby Fox and Scott Cawthon are famously known for the success of their indie games and are looked upon with admiration as their games are a large extension of themselves. Large studios, because of all the names attached to projects, are rarely known for their individual developers. On the flip side, there are indie developers who are praised for their unique or beloved games only for them to destroy their reputation. So much so that it even erodes interest in their game. This is the exact case of the Yandere dev, who was previously covered on this channel. This is why reputation is highly important as an indie developer, especially for those that made the choice to become public figures like Thor was doing. Every one of these purple squares represents a day that Thor streamed in 2019.
Nice.
The opacity is dependent on how long he streamed, meaning the darker the purple, the more hours he streamed that day. On average, Thor streamed 5 to 10 hours under Science and Technology and also the Art category. Thor, as he claims, was streaming himself developing Heartbound. This interview, conducted by GameDeveloper.com, reads, quote, "The next step was proving to everyone who invested in our game that we are not going to run away with their money.
Good.
Because that's a big problem for Kickstarter games. People go and throw money at a Kickstarter. Then the devs will disappear for 2 years, then come back and make something that wasn't up to par compared to what they promised in the Kickstarter. So we thought, what if we streamed it all? Full open development. They could see every single thing that we ever do, and no one could say the devs ran away with the money." Unquote. Thor did not exclusively stream Heartbound development. This is
I also prefer to have the entire development of the game stream, so that way there's no like plot twists or anything interesting that can happen without me knowing about it beforehand.
stream circa May 2019 of him building a chair.
Back on this chair now, but I don't know how, because I threw the instructions.
Presumably this same month, he also streamed himself playing The Division 2, as his 26-second highlight video was also uploaded in May.
It means the world to me, and I'm just going to say
I'll
always be here, throwing bits and supporting you.
While the commentary is not of note, Thor's deeper voice was, or at least it would be as part of a strange footnote in his undoing. For now, the goal was Animus. Chapter 1 was made while working at Blizzard and Amazon Game Studios. Chapter 2 took 2 years, though half the time Thor had a job keeping him from dedicated development of debilitating illness in the last 3 months. Here, Thor also calls it a dedicated development of debilitating illness in the last 3 time Thor had a job.
Sounds like they cut something here. Maybe it was misinformation.
Keeping him from dedicated development of debilitating illness in the last 3 months. Here, Thor also calls it a cold. Thor continued to tweet about this illness until March 16th. where he stated he had been feeling better, but by the 17th he was feeling far worse. He claims he was diagnosed with pneumonia and was given a COVID test, which he was waiting for the results of. 4 days later, he stated that he tested negative for COVID and only had pneumonia. With his illness diagnosed, he would no doubt begin receiving proper treatment and improve. Except on the 23rd, Thor now tweeted that he was misdiagnosed. It was not COVID or pneumonia. Instead, it was bronchitis. A week from that tweet, on the 30th, Thor now marks this as day 30 of his illness and reminds his audience that he tested negative for COVID. Then in April, he tweeted that he was getting better, then worse. Then on the 10th, finally the cold was defeated. Thor went as far to say, quote-unquote, this time for good. The following month, Thor on Steam released an update to address the lack of them. Quote, reason for delay. Animus was set to be released by now. For the last several months, I've been in and out of hospital with severe viral bronchitis, lost around 70% lung function at one point, and went to hypoxia and almost bit the big one. Thankfully, with treatment, I've been doing much better. I ended up losing around 2.5 months of work, and the stream was offline for over a month total. This is the most amount of work I've missed in 3 years, so it's been pretty rough. Unquote. Below, Thor posts an image of his stream frequency, noting how much he had not streamed in April and May due to his illness. Finally, in July, Heartbound was updated, but only with a small portion of Animus added. Quote, you can now play through some...
Why is it...
was...
Shouldn't the one be like the game is released?
Updated, but only with a small portion of Animus added. Quote, you can now play through some of Fern and Road's storyline in ENUS only. Unquote. 4 months later, now in November, Thor tweets, quote, after nearly 8 months of recovery, my lungs are well enough to steam and work on a daily basis again. Thank you for all of the support and good vibes to get me back here. Unquote. It is now the 1st of January 2021. Animus has not been delivered and is now a year delayed. But Thor, in this tweet, reassures his audience that it is coming. Quote, hashtag Heartbound is the main priority. Animus will absolutely be done soon. Now that I'm no longer recovering from COVID, things will go much faster.
For record, Animus is still not out yet, right? I don't think Animus is out yet in 2026. I believe.
We're also working on a commissioned game on the side that should be fun. Unquote. Now Thor claims he had COVID. It went from a cold to pneumonia to bronchitis to testing negative from COVID to now rewriting it all as COVID. Users were none too pleased with the lack of development. KO on Twitter tweeted, quote, don't get your hopes up. According to interviews, Act 3 is in development since over 1.5 years, and the game is supposed to have 5 acts. Also, sorry, P.S. I love the game, but I am fed up with being played. Unquote.
Nice.
Thor responds, stating again that he had COVID and rewrites the recovery period from 8 months to roughly 9 months. And he also states he needs to use an inhaler for the rest of his life. Thor adds that the state of his lungs have improved and that he can at least work again. Now, September 2021, Thor teases at Animus and reassures a commenter that it is nearly here. But these excuses were no longer satisfactory.
Absolutely lost 9 months to COVID. He said he didn't have COVID.
Twitter, a Portuguese fan tweeted that Chapter 2 of Deltarune had already come out, yet there is still no new content for Heartbound. Thor contests this by stating he streams his development every day, and that Animus is 92% finished. This would seem impressive until one compares it to the last numerical update on progress, which happened in October 19, 2019 at 86%. This means, by Thor's own metric, he had only developed 6% of a single chapter in almost 2 years. What's more, Thor had retconned the window he had been sick, where it had previously jumped from 8 months to roughly 9. In September of 2021, he now states, quote, I caught COVID in early 2020 and lost nearly a year of development time and recovery. Thankfully not dead, but mad that I lost so much time, unquote. On the topic of lost time, Thor, in the middle of 2021, ran for a seat on the Council of Stellar Management in the video game EVE Online, a position where the council members act as a representative of the player base to deliver ideas and requests to the game's developers. EVE Online is an MMO that, as per any of the genre, consumes a vast amount of players' time. But not only was Thor playing EVE and running for the council, he was also a leader of his own corporation.
I don't understand. I mean, I get why he's doing it, because 1, saying you had COVID, big sympathy moment. Saying you lost time from it, big sympathy moment. And 3, good excuse for why you haven't done your work, right? I guess I get that. I just don't... It's just weird. We talked about this last time too. It's not just weird that he's lying about stuff that you can confirm so easily, but it's weird that people like just ignore it, right? Like it's such like he's just lying, and he's lying in a way where you can just look it up yourself and see that he was lying.
known as Tribog Clade. This could explain the absence of steady updates. It would be several months until Thor provided information on Animus. As now patterned, in 2022, he was delivering not Animus, but more bad news, now regarding his partner Shay.
Shay does all of the art and animation for the entire studio. Anytime you see messages on Twitter with art on it, anytime you see any of the art in the video game, anytime you see any of our merchandise, any of that stuff, it's all made by Shay. Shay hurt his back badly. He's been going back and forth to the doctor. He's not allowed to lift anything. He's not allowed to like move around or anything like that. He has to walk around with a cane, and I've just been taking care of him the whole time. So I have to take care of all the pets. I have to take care of everything in the house. Shay can't lift anything. He can't do anything on his own. So because of that, most of my time has been spent on that. It's why I haven't streamed very often this month. It's been about half the days of the month I haven't streamed that I normally would. It's just because of this. So don't worry. I haven't quit working on the game. I'm not dead. Like, everything is... It's okay, but we're trying to find out what's wrong with Shay to get him repaired like a robot, right?
2 months later, Thor...
I feel like anytime people talk about like how little time they have, like, okay, so how much time is so you need to take care of Shay, that's fine. So that makes sense. Okay, you have pets, sure, that's fine. How many hours a day is that? Is that 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours? Is it 8 hours? Okay, let's say it's 8 hours. You sleep for 8 hours. What are you doing with the other 8 hours, right? It's just yeah, this sucks, and obviously I'm not gonna fault him for spending time with I guess his significant other or was or whatever, but that's fine. Don't make excuses for it. Just say, hey, I'm just gonna spend time. Like, I'm not doing work. Don't pretend that it's like so much work. Oh, I have so much stuff to do, brother. You're self-employed, and he probably has like millions of dollars on the bank at this point, right? Like. One in programming means first stable version, the first version where you can expect the things in the code won't randomly change and give different outputs than what you expect, but in games they should sometimes number them after releases and expansions. Yeah, makes sense. Show Shay on stream.
Published another video containing hope that Animus was nearly here, and an excuse that would all but guarantee its delay.
All of the stuff for Avocado's finished, all the stuff for the Misery and Mania middle story area is finished, and most of the stuff for the Mossbacks are finished. So that is the end of Animus, basically. So all of that is finished. Animus just has the final scene, and we're finished with it, and it's done. And we can move on to Jotunheim, which is about Vikings and combat and you know, conflict resolution and all that cool stuff. And that's the end of the primary chapters in Heartbound. And then it's just the end of the game. That's it. We're basically...
Do you think that... I didn't think of this before, but the actual problem with what he's doing is probably what you would assume the problem would be when he announced what the game would be, which is what anyone that has played a lot of games or understand game development would understand, which is that the reason people don't make games where the concept is that you make a little change and that changes things in the future, even if it's just small, is because it becomes an impossibly big task, right? If I set up a... Let's say I make a game, right? And the game is it's a house, and depending on what items you interact with the house, there's 10 items. When you leave the door, you get a different ending. And then let's say that every item has an ending, but then every item combination has an ending. So there's 10 items, and there's like, so it says 10 times, like 100 endings on something, right? Maybe more if you had it in some sort. Well, there's more endings, right? Like let's say it's like let's say it's the number of the choices you make, like when you interact with the items. So what's that? That's like 10,000 endings or something, right? And that's just if it's one room with 10,000 items in it, or sorry, with one room with 10 items and then one ending depending on each item and how you interact with them in order, right? I think that's 10,000 endings or something, maybe more. I think it's 10,000. I don't do math, but let's just say 10,000, right? That's one room with 10 items. And I'll say that you don't just have one room. You're gonna make a big game. So now you're making a big game, and then in chapter 1 you can interact with, let's say, like 20 items, and then all those 20 items need to have some interactions. Then in chapter 2, you care about the item interactions in chapter 1, but you also have more interactions. But you also have interactions based on the chapter 1 interactions, and that's chapter 2. So now we're going from this to this, and I was okay. Chapter 3, we're gonna have new interactions, but there's gonna be interactions based on the interaction in chapter 1 and 2 and the new ones in 3, right? It's like you 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. but like the point, right, is that like the reason people don't what the idea for Heartbound was is every game developer's dream, right? Every gamer's dream. This is the type of game that you thought, oh, it would be so cool to have a game like this, and a lot of people think about that. But the reason people don't make games like this is because it's impossible. You cannot create a game that has vast, crazy dynamic changes that keep expanding on themselves, right? You can make a game where in chapter 1, if you build a candle out, when you get back to chapter 1 and when you get back to your home in chapter 3, the candle is blown out, right? Oh, that's a change you can make. You can't make a game where if you blow the candle out, and then in chapter 2, when you meet the candle maker, you can tell him about that you build a candle out, and he will tell you about a secret room that you can enter now. And then when you go in there, it unlocks it. Like, you know, like it just becomes an impossible puzzle to do, right? Which is why no one makes games like this. People say that games like Baldur's Gate 3 are very interactive, right? They care about your choices, but ultimately Baldur's Gate 3, for the most part, it's just if I told a person to go fuck themselves in chapter 1 and I meet them in chapter 3, they'd be like, "You're the guy that told me to fuck myself," and that's how that works. It's not a thing where it's like if I did this thing in chapter 1, then I think different thing will happen in chapter 2, which would then lead to something new happening in chapter 3, and then it keeps going like that, right? In like this endless, vast expanse of like, you know, every gameplay is different. Every time you play through the game is different. It isn't. I've watched multiple people play the game. I played through Baldur's Gate 2.5 times myself, 3.5 times, and it's like basically the same game, right? So it's like no one makes games like this. I wonder if that's the problem. I wonder if he's at the point now in the game where he either has to give up on the core concept of the game, which is the interactivity, or he has to keep developing it, which will take an infinite amount of time, right? I love every single person out there driven indie funded through donations games ends up every time. Most of them, for sure. The vast majority, 95%. Just recreate TTRPG freedom in a game. Yeah, exactly, right? just recreate a human brain being able to directly interact with the players in a game. Yeah, it's simple.
Basically,
that has to be his problem, though, right? I don't know if he's admitted it, but that has to be the problem. The problem has to be that if he's going to keep this like weird complexity he's made going, it's like an impossible loop.
We're basically at the end here. It's finally happening.
Or you have to make it pointless, right? So those are the choices.
My doctor has diagnosed me now with what's called trigeminal neuralgia. There's a nerve that goes like this on your face. It's a trigeminal nerve, 3-prong tri, right? And it comes out of your brainstem, goes to about here. It is like you have
must be something funny on Discord.
Worms in your bones that are made out of fire. It is the most devastating pain I have ever felt.
At least his code is robust enough to make that interaction. That's also part of the problem, right? Like, if you make a game like that and you kind of understand what you're doing, then you can at least do it relatively quickly. But with the way he does it, it's like an impossible mess, right?
Felt in my entire life.
Thor also discusses the failing health of his cat and the time needed to monitor it.
But that's it. That's really it. It's just taking care of my cat. And I'm amazed she's still alive. So if you're upset that stuff hasn't come out, if you're upset that I haven't made these videos, I understand. Sorry. But
this is so evil what he does here. This is so evil to like guilt trip people, like, oh my cat is hurt, blah, blah, blah. Like even if his cat is having issues, that's awful, terrible news, and it's okay to talk about it, but he's framing this like, you know, this is why I've been doing this stuff, and he's trying to like kind of make you feel bad for expecting him to do his job.
About it, this is the worst 2 months I think I've ever had in my life, and it's not going to stop me from making this game.
Since its initial deadline, Animus has been delayed 2 years and about 5 months. Thor, in comparison, sped through the first 2 chapters, so why is this one so different? Thor attempts to answer this, also in his update video.
And Animus took so long to build because it is the most complicated chapter in Heartbound. Most of the rooms in Animus take between 15 and 40 kind of, you know, timelines that can go through them. They have different routes through all of those different sections because human interaction is so complex. It's not just about...
So this is what I was talking about. I pre-watched the video, guys. This is what I was talking about just a second ago.
yes or no to someone. It's about yes or no, and also how did you treat them before? How did you treat them before that? And if you're mad that it took a long time, well, I'm sorry. And for me, I'm just going to make it as realistic and interesting in terms of character interaction as I possibly can.
Animus, at least the segment of it that exists in the game, has the largest number of distinct characters of the 3 chapters. A core tenet of Heartbound since the game's inception is player choice.
Yeah. So Heartbound is a game that is about player choice. And let me be clear about this. You've probably heard that before, right?
Here we go. Dude, Nostranda right here. He's all we get to succeed, is all we get to give it special pitches. Yeah, exactly, right? And even if it's taking time, you can take all this time. Just don't lie about it and guilt trip people about it, right? Just be like, guys, I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. That's which one of the scammers playbook. It's hard. I'm alone. Pity me. Exactly, yeah.
Right? You've heard about a game that's of player choice, and it always ends up being some kind of narrative route that's sort of dog shit, right? It ends up being something that looks like this.
Yeah, and you know why, Pirate? You know why it's usually like that? Do you want to know why, Pirate?
Where the route doesn't actually matter. The beginning and the ending is exactly the same.
Like, someone needs to do one of this, but it's like a release game thing, or it's like you guys have heard about Paint online. Okay, so you guys have heard about these games that have infinite choices, right? Like usually a game gets announced and it develops and then it's releases, right? This is release, or something like that. This is release, right? So the game they announce the game and then they make it and then it's like released. And here's the game with the infinite choices in it. Like, what is this guy talking about? Listen, I was writing with the mouse, okay? The thing on the screen, just if it doesn't work properly, I sent you the 0.1 version. What is this? What am I supposed to do with this? It's an HTML. This is a virus?
You may have like one line of dialogue that's different, but it ends up not mattering in the end. You always get the same ending, and it sort of doesn't matter at all. Let me show you what Heartbound does. Understand this is just 3 rooms.
Yeah.
These are all the interactions.
Wow. What was I talking about just a second ago?
Actions and how they play into each other in those rooms. There are thousands of routes in Heartbound. There are thousands of routes in Heartbound. Everything you do in the game matters. And they're all distinct from each other. There's a ton of interactions that you will never see. Anything you ever see me working on stream, it won't matter. People will say spoilers in the chat, but there are many routes in there that no one's ever found. There are rooms that no one has ever seen.
Thor had always desired to make individual choices and exploration echo louder than potentially any other game, like he tried to do with Chapter 1. For example, whenever you feed your dog bearing garbage or dog food, it largely helps determine the moral representation of the main character later on. This makes sense as the game's themes deal with morality and choosing to be either helpful or detrimental to others, which ties into Lor's relationship with his parents. Animus so far does have these moral choices.
I like that I ranted about that right before I talked about it.
But rather than having them tie back to the story of Lore or the relationship with his parents or even his dog, they are mostly done to expand the stories of secondary characters or just to explore the morality of the player's choice. Furthermore, though Thor totes the expansiveness of branching paths and happenings, there are many choices that end up being either detrimental to gameplay or entirely meaningless.
I have always loved the idea of a choose-your-own-adventure comic book, choose-your-own-adventure video game.
It's a hit based on Pirate Software.
And I have made Butterfly Effect the game. Every environment in the entire game has usually dozens to hundreds of routes. All of them. In fact, one of the really easy ways to check something that you've done or not is in the very beginning of the game, your bedroom. You can actually leave the bedroom without ever putting on your sweater. And all of the animations for the rest of the...
Okay. How do I save this file values? Download. Bold Man Runner. I can't wait for dollars to get access to all my cookies and tracking data. Is this that audio? Is this a chat GPT game? Oh man. It's like the dinosaur game when my internet isn't working. Oh shit. I feel like the speed here is a little bit intense. God damn it. One more time. One more time. But that was impossible. I love barking. Okay. It's cloud, but yeah, the speed is insane. I'm tuning it over time. Well, this is only version 0.1 or something, right? Yeah, you said 0.01, so I mean, that's pretty good. You can, well, obviously, I'm gonna need some kickback on this because you're using my likeness in it, and my the thing that's special about me is just being bold. But I look forward to hearing about all the interactive choices I'll be able to make in the game until the game is the largest game ever made, with no detrimental effect at all. Says who is legally distinct bald man. There is no such thing as a legally distinct bald man. It should end the line. Instrument Bard possesses. Did they call them the Bellman? No. Are they the Chosen? That's scientists. Bard possesses. The choices are jump and survive, don't jump and die. Is there? Oh, there's a plural. I forgot where do you plural? Is at the start, I think. I don't know if it's chosen. It could be chosen. It's chosen or is Bellman? Watch reference from first sentence. Isn't that one plural? Yeah, should be, right? So it's bards possess, own, there, possess instruments. Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, I did it wrong again. Nice. One class like many, aka many chosen ones, many praise out. Bards. So we have plural bards. Love. Playing? You think it just create music? Nice. To the fortress, bards will come. Bards... Travel something maybe? Go fortress. Something has changed in the tower. I love that. Yeah, I love... It told that something has changed. Thank you. So what? Am I gonna have to... Something has changed within me. Is this what changed? I can't even see anything. Oh. I love having to go through the entire game again to see what changed. Okay, we're back here now. My farts have changed. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. I feel like this might be a song. I'm not sure though. Okay, one... Let's see if I can remember this. One triangle circle, triangle, triangle meteor, and triangle plateaus. So ring is triangle circle. Points are triangle. And now we can just brute force this one. We don't even need to there we go. It's from Wicked. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. Is that a good movie? Should I watch Wicked? Already figuring out the language. Yes, it's a game about not just a language, but multiple. So far we've figured out 3 languages, and we're working on the 4th right now. And you basically talk to people and find letters or words or whatever, and then you have to put them into this book to like confirm that you know what they mean. Ooh, ooh, living on a play. Listen to my Goldfish song. Was that the Enter Shikari song? Was that, if so, yes, I did. It's okay, we're true to the musical, which is on Broadway in New York, and it was my biggest brag in life. Nice. Do you think the musical is better? Because I like the Hamilton musical. Right, so did we just learn about what this stuff is? Gold, silver. You think that this might mean like transmute? The musicals just have a different vibe. The movie was a good representation of it. Yeah, I like musicals though. I like turtles. I watched the movie on the plane, so I might have dozed off a few times. That's acceptable. Just like at the theater. What the hell? What the hell? Living on a prayer, take my hand, and we'll make it, I swear. Living on a prayer, living on a prayer. See the finished rendition of it too, I think. I drag my mom and sis with me. Oh, the finish. I was like, finished. I am an alchemist. Me welcome. Maybe it's like welcome. This probably isn't poop. It's probably welcome. I have actually starred in a play myself. I have such a musical background, what the hell? How to translate that into your language career? Transmute gold. I think it's just gold mine, actually? It might just be mine. That's mine. It kind of looks like a person inside a mountain. No idea why I'm doing this, but here we go. Here we go! It's me, Mario! Professional musician at one point I realized I don't have the skills. Isn't that why we practice? Danger, fall, death. That looks like a person falling over. Ah, that really counted. Really, game. Wee game. So many choices in life could have been made differently. The thing is, many places don't let you practice unless you are naturally gifted. Ironic. I applied to a music high school and a music conservatory to practice piano guitar and didn't make it to either one. That's a bit cringe. Eat. You think that's just open and close? This would be close, right? This would be open. Also tried out to stuff like Idols and Voice of Finland. Is that like a show?